Something amazing has happened recently, because WWE is sticking to its guns. And I don't mean the usual, oh, all the fans want us to push this guy, but we're going to totally ignore it. No, I am talking about the fact that clearly they have come up with a long-term storyline, they know their conclusion, and they know their endpoint. They're like, damn it, we're going to get there. But in many ways, this could be seen as a huge risk, even though it is awesome. Why? Here's why. Now, we are obviously talking about the bloodline angle, and when you do bring up the bloodline angle in 2023, people go, I don't want to talk about it anymore. But come on, man. Not only is this one of the best storylines that WWE has done in ages, it's one of the best ever. And even when you do compare it with the stuff from yesteryear, do not forget that in the modern day, we have week-to-week TV. 35 years ago, whatever it was, had like one event every 72 years. We also saw a massive step forward recently because Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa did get defeated by the Usos, and who got the damn pin over the Tribal Chief? It was Jey Uso. So not only did this make sense, but if you're a massive nerd like me, you could go back to the timeline and go, hey, I understand what we're doing. It also feels like we're going to do this one-on-one match at SummerSlam, which means we have to ask the question, will Jey Uso beat Roman Reigns? Now the answer is actually maybe. You just never know, and that is the secret sauce when it comes to wrestling. Even if you are 99.9% convinced that the head of the table is going to get the victory, it's that 0.1% that gets you invested. Now, in reality, I don't think he will, but this ties into the risk. Because watch this, if we go back to Clash of the Castle 2022, did Drew McIntyre beat Roman Reigns? No, he didn't. Now there is a large contingent that say that he should have done, and then we move forward to the Elimination Chamber 2023, and should Sami Zayn have been the one to pin Roman Reigns? Maybe, but he didn't. And hey, let's chat about Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. So many people are still upset about this, and I totally get it. And you already know what I'm going to say here, so let's just move forward. I don't think this is just because WWE has a massive hard-on for Roman Reigns, although clearly something is happening down there. It goes back to what I've just said. I actually think they have planned out this narrative, and because at the moment it's resulting in success all over the place, they're going, I do think it's working, why would we stop? Also, the overwhelming reaction has been positive, and it actually has made me rethink what's going to happen at WrestleMania 40. Now, very sadly, I'm terrible at predictions, so this doesn't help my cause, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because look at it like this. When Roman was successful at the biggest show of the year, Cody Rhodes only lost because he had help from the Usos. He had help from Solo Sikoa, and I'm sure Paul Heyman was shouting something that made the American Nightmare sad. So he had his people around him, and that's where he got all the assistance from. Well, now it's pretty obvious that when we do get to April 2024, Roman is going to be a massive loner because he's going to chase away all his family, he's going to chase away all of his friends, so what is going to be his one last bastion of joy? Going to be the WWE Undisputed Universal Super Duper title. So if Cody Rhodes then beats him for that and goes, ha, I've finished my story, we can also turn, we can look at our tribal chief and go, well, your story just finished too. It also means that he has finally fallen off his perch, which actually justifies these last 12 months. Because not only will Cody finally be the champion, but we also elevated everybody else. I mean, look at the Usos right now, and once again, when we get to next year, I bet Solo is up there too. I mean, he's already rising. And no, I don't care that Jey Uso was the first guy to pin Roman Reigns in 3.5 years. There's now this argument, well, whoever beats him for the title won't feel the same. That's not true. If the American Nightmare does get the win, you just have to make a massive big deal out of it. Have the commentators go crazy, have pyrotechnics coming up people's asses. If it feels like a moment, do you know how fans react to it? As if it was a moment. And that's not me saying that WWE shouldn't call audibles. Of course they should, as and when makes sense. I mean, if we weren't into the business of calling audibles, do you know who wouldn't have become a megastar? That's right, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was penciled in as the ringmaster. One of the worst gimmicks ever. But if we do this and it works, all of us fans can then start having a bit more faith in the product, which very nicely allows me to reel in the one and only LA Knight. Yeah. And sure, it was massively disappointing when he didn't become Mr. Money in the Bank. But one, if WWE was never going to let him cash in, don't do it. But also two, if they have an idea for him as well, given the bloodline stuff, Let's go with that. And wouldn't you rather he fought Austin Theory for the US Championship at SummerSlam and became a title holder rather than giving the briefcase and Triple H goes, man, we should have him cash in. Vince McMahon goes, yeah, but he's going to lose. And those two bicker. That ain't going to help Mr. Knight. In fact, it's probably going to make it worse. But even if you see him win things at a lesser level, usually that can be a platform for something else. So if you keep cheering him when he is the United States champion, well, you just never know. So look, I do get it, because if you are very passionate about this, you can make the very good argument, well, Simon, I've been watching WWE for 20 years, and they don't usually do this. In fact, usually they just pull my pants down. With all this head of the table joy, though, I don't know. I mean, everything is up right now. Live gates are up, attendance is up, merchandise is up, and maybe more importantly, not only are TV ratings are up, but when Roman and his crew are on television, flub me sideways, it goes crazy. If anything, it means our intelligence is actually being insulted left, and eventually Roman will get he'll get his comeuppance. We can all do the dance of justice, which apparently is what you do when you're drunk. And of course, now I'll be wrong and you can come and yell at me and go, see, I told you, Simon, you're an absolute goober. But Roman does have to lose at some point, and given that he's now over 1,000 days with his special belt, when somebody does get that 1, 2, 3, oh my gosh, it is going to be an absolute palooza. Also, I have to be honest with you, I am a man that secretly likes chaos. So I don't even mind if Roman Reigns keeps winning. He can win the Royal Rumble 2024, then he can fight himself at WrestleMania, and then obviously he's guaranteed to win. And then he can just take out the whole division. And in fact, he should go after Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley should do him in. That would be the best time ever. It also does go to show that if you do have a good story, you can have a little bit of fun with the results, and more or less, your entire fan base will stick with it. Once again, wouldn't you rather this than like GTV? Remember GTV back in the Attitude Era? GTV. It was some dude that was secretly spying on people with hidden cameras, which is massively illegal. And did we ever find out who was doing this? No. Now, obviously, it was meant to be gold dust, but we could stand here for the next 5 minutes and I could give you a bunch of unfinished stories, and that always makes me mad and sometimes keeps me up at night because I'm a massive geek. Whereas this one, not only do I believe that we are going to get an ending, but I can go through all the chapters, say, ooh-da-lally, that flubbing rocked. So it is absolutely a risk, of course it is, because you are going to alienate some of your audience. But even though the adage says otherwise, sometimes it is about the destination and not the journey, and I have decided, as a positive Pete, that I believe in our final endpoint. Now, once again, I will be wrong. Hey ho, I've said it now, and there is no going back. Now, the most important part of this video is that you go into the comments and let me know what you think. Do you think Roman Reigns is going to lose at WrestleMania 40? Have you been enjoying this bloodline story? And now that I've said all these, can you go, oh my gosh, it is a bit of a risk, but maybe it's going to be for the better of the entire company. You can also click the video that's on the screen right now. It will be another Why video, which is my stupid editorial series that I do appreciate you watching, and you can like the video, share the video, and of course, subscribe. Also, please do go to whatculture.com, where we will keep you up to date with all the wrestling happenings, including everything with Roman Reigns, and he does have a lot of news bits. And if you'd like to call us goobers on the internet, it's Simon316 at WhatCultureWWE on social media. My name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you very much for watching me as always, and as you've probably guessed, I am a massive fan of this bloodline angle, and I was lucky to be live at Money in the Bank because it was here in the UK, and when Jey Uso got that pin, I kind of passed out for a while because I thought it was the best thing ever. Just love that man. And if we did actually make him the champion, well then, my point is entirely right. Like, it means I've got WrestleMania 40 all wrong, but it does mean we've entered a new era, and it will be a new era of dreams. And doesn't that sound amazing? Yes. Yes, it does.